everyone, it's Zahava, I'm back. I have just finished filming my DNFs of Q1 video. I have not moved. I have just pressed stop record and record again on my camera. So welcome back, and we're going to talk in today's video about some books that I would like to tackle for Q2. Now, if you were here, if you were a returning subscriber, returning viewer, you may have seen my April TBR video. What a disappointment that one was. I am full of good intentions. I think it's on some level, anyone who's on BookTube or in the bookish community, Bookstagram, Book Talk, wherever is your platform of choice, I think we're all on some level full of good intentions. We say, okay, I'm going to set myself out to read this number of books or these few titles, and I have to admit that I tried to do an April TBR, and I think out of the 10 or so books that I listed that I would like to try and read in April, I ended up reading 3 or maybe even 2 of the ones that were on that list. So I did not have a very successful April. Let me know if you guys are the same. But I'm going to try, because you know that I have over 250 books on my TBR, and I do want to be trying to read that down as much as possible. And as a result, I'm going to be trying to tackle my TBR while also attempting to read those sooner than later. And, so I thought we would do a video looking at 10 of the books that I would like to read in this next quarter of the year, which is going to be May, June, and July. So I have 3 months, and usually I could read about 14 to 16 books a month. And I would like for 10 of those, or maybe even 7, I might even be happy with 7, to come from the 10 books that are on this list, okay? And I do own copies of all of these books. They're not going to be coming from the library. It's not going to be counting any books that I might listen to on audio. So these are going to be actually 10 physical books from my physical TBR that I would like to get to between now and the end of July. So here goes. The first book that I want to get to is Alice by Christina Henry. And if you guys watch my April TBR, you're going to remember my telling you that I have 3 or 4 Christina Henry books on my physical TBR, and I have never read her before, and I haven't gotten to these books yet. So that would have been an April TBR fail that I am now going to be moving over to the next quarter of this year, in the hopes that I will finally accomplish the goal that I have of reading some Christina Henry. So I would like to start with Alice because it's not a very big book. I think it's under 300 pages. So I'm pretty sure that between now and the end of July, I should be able to tackle at least one Christina Henry. And Alice would be a good place to start because I love the story of Alice in Wonderland, and a retelling, a horror version of that sounds like it could be a really good time. So that will be my first one. Number 2, again from my April TBR, is Vita Nostra. Okay, I didn't get to it in April. I won't spend time talking about it. It was an April TBR failure for me. I'm going to move it into the next quarter if I can. Number 3 is going to be Gunslinger by Stephen King. Okay, so this is from the Dark Tower series, who I hear so many people talking about all the time. I haven't read a Stephen King novel in a hot minute. So I took a look at The Gunslinger. It is not a very thick book. I think I should be able to handle it. So that is going to be number 3 on the list. Number 4 on this list is actually going to be my first Terry Pratchett. So guys, I'm so excited. I did not find this book at a thrift store, but I did find a copy of it at Book Outlet. It cost me maybe like $5.99 or $6.49. Oh no, I know what happened. I remember what happened. So Book Outlet sent me a coupon code for a free book as long as it was $8.99 or under. So if you spent $35, you got a free book, and I don't know, I guess I'm just a really easy sell. So I ended up getting a copy of The Fifth Elephant from Terry Pratchett. And as I understand with the Discworld series, you can pretty much start anywhere as long as you don't start with The Light Fantastic, which is a direct sequel to The Color of Magic. And most Terry Pratchett experts will say don't start with The Color of Magic. So knowing all of this, I'm going to attempt to read my first Terry Pratchett. Wish me luck. The next book I want to read is going to be Lottery to Haven. Now this one actually came suggested to me by Fina of Fina Reads, and she was doing a video based on a whole bunch of indie books that she's read and wanted to introduce her viewers to. So that one kind of caught my interest, and I would like to get to that one sooner than later so that I can get a report back to you what I think about that and whether or not Fina was right, because she said she really liked it. So we'll see. We'll see, Fina. I got my eye on you. We'll see. Number 6 on this list is going to be Walk the Vanished Earth. So that's going to be a dystopian sci-fi. If you guys remember my April TBR, I think that was one of the books on my April TBR, or maybe we did a book unboxing together for that one. That's probably what it was. It was probably a book unboxing. And I just remember that it's this one girl and these 2 members of her family, one of which is her uncle, and she's got to decide potentially if she's going to repopulate the world with her uncle. So that to me was the hook, and I want to read that book and see what happens with Walk the Vanished Earth. If you guys have read it, please don't ruin it for me, because I could be totally off course with this one, as I am with so many things that I try and predict with you guys on this channel. But yeah, I want to definitely be getting to Walk the Vanished Earth. Plus it's got like a great cover, so that is always a selling point for me. I am one of those, yes, I judge books by their cover, and yeah, I'm gonna probably pick that one up because there's so many interesting parts for me that I would like to get to that one sooner than later. Okay, another author that I have 3 of their books of that I have never read is Joe Nesbo. So we have Christina Henry. I own 3 books, never read Christina Henry. Joe Nesbo is another one. I've got 3 of his books. I've never read any. So I want to read The Night House. Again, this is going to be chosen because it's a horror genre, and also the cover, I don't really need to say more. That's going to be in the next 3 months, something that I would like to read. You know what? I just realized that I've been talking about Q2 being like May, June, and July, but it's actually not, is it? It's like April, May, and June. Eee. Okay, so we are not off to a good start. We are not off to a good start. Okay, so I still have a week left in April, so I can kind of count April. At the time that I'm filming right now, it's April 23rd, which is Buy Me a Book and a Rose Day, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if my husband's gonna buy me a book and a rose, because I'm pretty sure that I've been sending him like a million reels, and I think he thinks it's a Hallmark holiday, so he's probably going to ignore that. So sad face. But yeah, you know what? I just realized that my Q2, this entire video, has been based on like the wrong timeline. So I'm sorry. If you guys caught that and commented that earlier, you can take the moment right now to delete your comment where you're correcting me, because I've lit up. I've come back to reality. So okay, I have 7 days left in April, so I can still count April, May, and June. So yeah, I could conceivably do these books between now and June 30th. So let's move on and acknowledge that I've made this very big embarrassing mistake, and we're just gonna move on, okay? Number 8 on this list is gonna be Slender Man. I think I want to read this book largely due to the formatting of the book, because it has all that different formatting. And yeah, it's really just for that reason. I would like to get to that book because it's got this really interesting formatting. Okay, I've picked it up for you guys, so I just want to show you. I don't know if it's coming through on camera very well. Sometimes it like the light makes it too bright to see, but generally speaking, the formatting of this book is pretty cool. So the only reason I want to read this one is just because the formatting is like awesome, and I want to read it. I don't have a better excuse than that. Book number 9 is actually going to be a cheat read, because it is a reread of a book that I read about 15, 20 years ago, and it's called Storyteller by Amy Thompson. And I wanted to give you guys a 5-star book recommendations video, but I know that that book deserves a place on it, because at that time that I read it, I just remember having all the feels. I've spoken about this before on the channel, and I need to reread it in order to be able to give you a more up-to-date recommendation. So Storyteller is going to be on this list for Q2. Look, I'm full of good intentions, you guys. I don't know if I'm actually going to get to it or not. So I have it on the list in the number 9 spot. So wish me luck. Number 10 is going to be The 3-Body Problem. I'm anxious to get to a translation that I'm going to like. That's really the only reason. So even Vita Nostra, I know, is a translation, but I don't know. I figure if I put 2 translated books on this list, I'm bound to find at least one that I'm going to like. So I'm hoping that it'll be either one of them or both. So yeah, that's going to be the list of 10 books that I would like to get to in the next quarter, which, as we have established, is going to be the end of this week, April, all of the month of May, and all of the month of June. And hopefully I will be able to get to some or all of these 10 books, but you know how it goes with me. I'm a big mood reader, and it's really going to depend on how my life is going, what other circumstances I have to deal with, what other books may find their way into my life. You know how it is. So let me know what you guys think of these selections. Let me know if you've read any of them, which ones I should be prioritizing. You know, interact with me in the comments. I love to read your comments, and I will absolutely respond to you. So yeah, I mean, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. You know, if you stayed until the end of the video, you know what it is. And I will see you again in the next one. Ciao for now.